What is up, boys? Welcome to another live show, Jaguars United live show. This is our weekly, bi-weekly live show that we do, talking about the Jags with fans. Appreciate you guys being here. Thursday night, we got some Thursday night football on right now, so it should be exciting. Don't know the results of that yet. We also got some playoff baseball going on tonight, so some of you in the gambling industry might have your tentacles spread pretty wide tonight, like myself. But shout out to you guys that are in the chat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Usually I put out a tweet or something about going live, but I did not tonight, so it is what it is. Sue me, right? Shout out to everyone. We got members in the chat already. Nolly Full Cab, Munch Lax, Tallahassee Depression Gaming, all members. Thank you guys for being a member. I appreciate it. We have a super chat already from Sun and Surf 99. $4.99. Man, what a start to the show. We have a member spam, and we have a super chat for $5. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Jags Dolphins Sunday morning in London. If you're in Jacksonville, like myself, then it's a 9:30 a.m. start time. That's pretty early for some of you, including myself. You know, I wake up earlier nowadays more than I used to. But 9:30 is going to be tough, man. Hey, don't go out too hard Saturday night because it's going to get tough for sure. If you're watching this video after the fact, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you get notifications. This is an interactive show where comments and fans pretty much get their voice heard. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the Jags. I'm just here to facilitate the discussion, maybe give an input every now and then. But shout out to the chat. You guys are what keep it going. So I want to hear your thoughts on this week. Do we have a chance? I mean, the Dolphins' record's not that good. They have not looked good the last couple of weeks. They haven't had their starting quarterback, to be fair. They got some injuries. Like, this could be a week the Jags capitalize on. I think a lot of people are kind of expecting it to happen. I mean, if it doesn't happen now, I mean, it probably never will. I mean, I feel like that's where a lot of people are in their thought process for this game. But let me know what you guys think. Charlie Boy, the first one in the chat, says, "What up, boys?" What up, Charlie Boy? Tallahassee at Depression Gaming says, "Here we go." Talking about the stream. We got some Blake Bortles spam in the chat. Tallahassee says, "John Gruden for OC. I heard he's free." What did I see today? I mean, that he might get reinstated? Was that, I don't know. I worked a lot today. I didn't get a chance to go on Twitter a bunch. Robert Adshert says, F Brady. He must be going off. I'll try to keep you guys updated on the game. 14-7 right now. Look, I just bought that book, Better to Be Feared, written by that New England journalist about Brady, Belichick, and Robert Kraft's relationship. So far, so good. That's what I'm going to say. I'm on chapter 2. So far, so good. Charlie Boy says, and Jeff Fisher as head coach. No. Power couple there, Charlie Boy. Jeff Fisher and John Gruden. Long John Silver 85, also a member of the channel. Thank you for being a member. Says, oh yeah, he's ready to go. Robert Adshert says, Brown looks like Brown from the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, I think Antonio Brown's definitely having like the greatest bounce back year from a player we've seen in a while. Maybe Gronkowski last year, but I mean, Antonio Brown is having himself a season so far. I mean, Brady's just ridiculous. He really is. Harry Drury says there's a good chance that we win this week. Okay, I'm kind of with you there. I'm kind of with you. Long John Silver says Miles Jack is out. Yeah, and Miles Jack is the leader, the play caller, the guy. Like, I'm surprised he didn't even travel with the team. Like, didn't even fly out there. He just wasn't worth it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess it is kind of strenuous on a player to go out there and, you know, fly 8 hours overseas and, you know, have your time schedule all thrown off and then go out there and be expected to play in front of, you know, all these people. I mean, at least they have the bye week next week, so there's not much they can, you know, complain about next week for as far as like jet lag and things like that. Long John Silver says, I told you about the locker room problems. All hasn't come out yet. Okay. I don't know. Maybe something with Miles Jack. I mean, like I said, it's a little fishy that he's not even going. I didn't think he was that injured. Maybe. I don't know. Tallahassee says, I'm not calling a win anymore. I thought we had one week 1. Week 1, I thought we could win. Last week, I don't know what, maybe it was delusional. I thought we could win. I thought maybe with the injuries to the receiver core, I thought we could sneak one past the Titans. We're in a couple of those games. But yeah, the injuries to the Dolphins. Did I see Xavier Howard might not play? McKinney might not play. I mean, there's quite a lot of guys that aren't going to play. I mean, the Dolphins have not looked that good. I mean, they lost to the Bucs last week, 45-17. Brissett threw for 275 passes. That rushing game, Myles Gaskin was we ran for 25 yards. He was also the leading receiver for 74 yards. So the Jags are definitely going to have to shut down Gaskin out of the backfield. They lost to the Colts week before that, 27-17. Brissett had a pretty bad game then. They lost in overtime to the John Gruden-led Vegas Raiders in week 3. And then week 2, just absolutely skunked by Buffalo, 35-0. And that was Brissett's first game. I mean, look, week 1 when Tua played, I mean, everybody was excited about the win against New England. They beat New England 17-16. It's kind of looking like New England's not that great of a team now, so I don't know how much stock you put into that. But, I mean, the Dolphins are averaging like 15 points a game from their offense. I mean, you factor in a 0. I mean, that hurts. 3 games of scoring 17 points. Those defenses are pretty good, right? New England's defense is good. Buffalo's defense is good. The Raiders' defense is good. The Colts' defense, it's okay. Tampa's defense is good. So, I mean, I think the Dolphins are kind of looking for, maybe this being the redemption game. There's no doubt about it that they have this, penciled in as, a win on their schedule. Harry Drury says, at least a high draft pick, guys. Yeah. Robert Adsert says, we're going to re-break Tua's ribs. Gosh, poor Tua. Kevin Thibodeau, also a member of the channel. Let's go, Kevin. He says, let's go, and spam some emojis. I appreciate it. Harry Drury says, still a Jag fan for life. Of course we are. That's why we're here, and that's why we're having a good time. Loyalty, says Harry Drury. Eagles play calling is atrocious, says Moon Illusions. Harry Drury, what you think? We need receivers. What do I think we need? Oh, good Lord. Well, given now that 2 of our 5 offensive linemen are now out, ones that we were kind of banking on. I mean, I don't know. This is Linder. This is another injury for Linder. This is he's turning into the guy that's always hurt. I mean, I know he's been that, but now he really is that. I think offensive line is our biggest area of need. I mean, without an offensive line, you really can't do much in the NFL. You got to have time. Whether you're going to run the ball, whether you're going to throw the ball, you got to have offensive line. I think that was our biggest area of concern after the draft, not really addressing it. Walker Little has been just extremely disappointing. I think a lot of us thought that I'm not even disappointing like his play, it's disappointing as he gotten on the field. James Robinson's been good. Receivers, obviously a big area of need with DJ Chark fracturing his ankle. I mean, that's definitely going to be an area of need going forward. We're going to have to fix the wide receiver position. Defensive back looks weak. Linebackers look weak. This team is not very talented. It's not. I'm hoping their cohesiveness can kind of lead them to a win, but this team definitely lacks talent. Any talent we do have, a lot of it's injured. So kind of dealing with that for sure. Jigshaw Singh says, you think any chance Meyer gets fired before the end of the season? I need to target Brian Dabble for sure. Well, I saw some people saying that if we get blown out, I actually heard 2 guys. I was warming up on the bike at the gym, and I had my AirPods in, and I had it on the non-transparency mode, so I could hear everything that was going on. I don't know why. And I could hear these dudes next to me talking about the Jags. And I was like, all right, I actually paused my AirPods, and I wanted to hear what they had to say. One guy said that if Urban loses by 2 touchdowns, he's fired on the way back. I don't think that happens, but there's people out there that think that. I think you got to give Urban time, but is there a chance that he just gets absolutely obliterated in this game and Shad Khan says enough's enough? I don't think so. I think that John Gruden news was the best thing that's happened to Urban Meyer since he got a letter of intent from Tim Tebow. Long John Silver says, we need a new offensive coordinator. Yeah. Okay, I put this on Twitter. This is what I honestly think. I think Bevel's fine. Bevel's good. Let him do his thing. until we get inside the 10-yard line. Once we get inside the 10-yard line, I don't care who calls the plays. A Madden simulator, the special teams coach, who's the Nick Sorensen, the special teams coach. I don't care. The little person ball boy who's been in all of our games. Let him call the plays. I don't care. But Bevel does not need to be calling plays inside the 10-yard line. What happened in Seattle when they didn't run with Marshawn Lynch and they threw the ball and they lost the Super Bowl, I was like, oh man, that's really unlucky for Bevel. Like, man, I could see myself making that bad decision. But then watching Bevel make a bad decision after bad decision inside the 10-yard line, it's like, bro, you need to stop calling plays inside the 10-yard line. Getting there is no problem. In fact, I think the 2-minute drill has been very effective. Anytime the Jags have gone to their 2-minute drill inside the 2 minutes of the end of the half, at the end of the game, they tend to move the ball. It's just scoring. And that's the thing. Is like moving the ball is one thing, but scoring is what's important. If you can't score, it doesn't matter how well you move the ball. Tallahassee says, I'd like to see Leftwich for head coach if Urban leaves. I mean, you can go that route. Look, you want to go the route of the coordinator that gets promoted to head coach. It works sometimes. I don't think any coach is going to come in here and be successful until we get talent on this team. I mean, I think if Urban Meyer was fired tomorrow, he'd probably get picked up somewhere next year, and the whole NFL, if he goes to a big market, would be like, oh, he was in Jacksonville. They gave him no talent. They gave him no help. All the same things that Philly fans were saying about Minshew. All the same things you hear about players that leave here. Jacksonville gives them no help. Jacksonville is not supportive of their players and their coaches. That would be the narrative if Urban left. So at some point, you have to ask yourself, like, is that narrative accurate? Like, are we not doing enough? If Urban had a team that was rich with talent, like any of these other teams in the NFL, would he be successful? It's just a thought experiment. I can't answer that question. I tend to think he would be a little bit more successful. I mean, this team is as deprived as talent as I've seen since the Jaguars team last year. Harry Drury says, true, we need an O-line. Tallahassee says, bring him home, talking about Byron Leftwich. Sav Jag, should we be concerned that Urban never calls plays? No, because I think he's, I've never been an NFL head coach. I like to think that I would call plays if I was a head coach. But there is something to be said for having some respect for your coordinators. That being said, I've seen numerous head coaches lose their job because they gave too much trust and they gave too much power to their coordinators. So you just hope that doesn't happen with Urban. Harry Drury, lots of growing. Robert Atzert, we getting Kayvon pass rusher out of Oregon in 2022. Kayvon Thibodeau, yeah, I mean, he looks like the real deal so far. Definitely head and shoulders best defensive player coming out of the draft. I mean, Stingley would be a good player too, the LSU corner. I mean, there's some talent out there for sure. And so that is, someone pointed it out kind of in jest, but it is true. I mean, like I've been harping on, this team needs an infusion of talent. They have no talent. They are very young or just inexperienced or not that good compared to the other NFL players at that position. You get a high draft pick like Stingley or Thibodeau, you bring a guy like that on the defense, and like now we're kind of looking at having some playmakers here. I mean, I still think you have to add some people in free agency. I mean, you can only address so many positions in the draft. Realistically, if you hit the first 3, maybe 4 rounds, you can address 3 or 4 positions. Maybe the rest of it you gotta address in free agency. I don't hate our depth anywhere, right? Like I think our depth is fine. Like, but we need to just have more players that can make plays. Like you got to make Shaq Griffin. You got to make that interception. Like, we got to catch the ball. Dan Arnold, you can't fumble and give up a touchdown on the first pass of the game. Like, we have to make field goals. Like, it's the little things that, like, you expect good players to do that we just don't have the players that do. I don't know. Harry Drury says, I don't see Myers staying, even though I would like him to stay. It's not looking good. I think I'm with you there, Harry. It's not looking good. Like, when you look back at the chain of events that's happening, it's like, bro, like he can't get out of his own way right now. I mean, the thing that happened up in Ohio, whatever. I mean, I think people forget about that pretty quickly, but it's the not winning. It's the mistakes. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just smells funny, bro. There's just something that just smells funny about this whole coaching staff. And that's honestly always been the knock about Urban. But usually he couples that with winning, right? Something's always kind of fishy when it comes to Urban Meyer, right? Just, people can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell, like all your senses tell you like, oh, like something's not right about this coach and this coaching staff, but he wins. And I think everyone was okay with that. When we hired Urban, we were like, look, it's going to get fishy around here. It's going to get fishy. But if he wins, it won't matter. I don't know. Moon Illusions, or trade number 1 for a king's ransom. Now, I am normally 100% against that. In this situation, though, I think I might listen to that. Now, we would have to get I don't know. Is there a quarterback coming out that people are crazy about? I don't think so. I mean, that Willis kid from Liberty he doesn't pass the eyeball test to me. Slavis from USC, I can see him being a decent pro. Spencer Rattler, I don't think he's going to be that good. Sam Howell is like 6 foot. I mean, I'm not mobile. I mean, I don't know. I don't. If it were Trevor or a year like that with like a player coming out that's really high profile, I think there's a chance. But I don't know if the King's ransoms are going to even be available this year. Robert Atzer, we went 1-15. Only Trevor, Campbell, Tufele are starting. LOL. We will get better over time. Yeah, that's true. Campbell's got to get healthy, right? I want to see him play. Harry Drury says O-line and receivers for sure. Gerald McKinnon said that's a lot of addressing. Yeah, I know. It really is. Moon Illusion says our corner depth is horrible. Yeah. And it doesn't look like Sidney Jones was that good. I mean, he's over there in Seattle not playing well. So all the people that were mad about that, like, I get it, but I know he's starting, but he's not playing well. It's just hard nowadays, man. It's hard to stop the pass. Robert Atcher says Jets or Lions will have the number 1 pick. LOL, we will beat the Jets. I mean, I sure hope so. I mean, the Lions look pretty bad. Jared Goff looks really bad. I mean, that's a team, though, if they're picking 1, they're picking a quarterback, right? I mean, the Jets, they're not picking a quarterback. So, first non-quarterback off the board, if we pick higher than the Jets or the Jets pick higher than us, might determine who gets Thibodeau. Does the next guy get Stingley? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's the last mock drafts I saw were the first 2 non-quarterbacks off the board were Thibodeau and Stingley. We have needs at both those positions. It would just kind of be like a letdown if we ended up with a defensive back rather than, a generational D end, hopefully. Harry Drury says the media is ruthless. Yeah, man, sometimes I'm kind of glad I'm not in the media because it is insane, man. One slip up and you're chopped meat. Long John Silver 85 said, I said last week the coaches don't like him. He belittles them. The coaches don't like Urban. Okay, you did say that. And I remember stating the contrary opinion that in press conferences and in front of the media, he always gives them the utmost respect. But if you have some insider, then that's fine. I trust you, Long John. We got a couple insiders in the chat. I'm not going to reveal who they are, but we got a couple. Moon Illusion says, I don't. Okay. Robert Atchard says, no quarterbacks or corners. All right. Yeah, well, that's fair. Moon Illusions, think there's a clear-cut guy. Yeah. Joe McKinnon, I hate to say it, but I think there's some truth to the reports about respect in the locker room. Okay. Well, look, I mean, is there a chance that Urban comes in and treats his guys like they're in college? Maybe. We see it happen all the time. When Saban was kind of accused of the same things. Spurrier was accused of the same things. But, you look at a guy like Pete Carroll, who's like a player's coach, who made the transition successfully. Jimmy Johnson, the same way. I was hoping Urban would kind of be a player's coach. Everything he says led me to believe he was a player's coach. But the reports coming out are contrary. Again, I hate going into reports because you never know with reports. Like I said, how do we know, Josh Scobie's not the one out there leaking, or not Scobie, Lambo's not out there leaking information. I mean, it's a joke, but we don't know, dude. Insiders could have any agenda. We don't know. Harry Drury says we can't afford to slip, not even once. They will get you and bring you down. Just ruthless. I know. Yeah, that's true. Moon Illusion says Hamilton and Neal are better than Stingley. Well, the Gators play LSU this week. I don't know if Stingley's playing or not, but I'm definitely going to be tuning into that game just in case he is, because I want to see. Florida has a Kyrie Elam, who earlier in the year was projected to be a top defensive back taken. I don't know if he's still there. Yeah. Long John says, yeah, Urban is the one that people are saying is belittling. That's fine. Jigsaw Singh says, do you think we should offer a contract to Josh Allen before the 5th-year option? Man, I don't know. Josh Allen's a tricky case to me. He's obviously good and a good player. I don't know where his head's at. He seems like a family guy. He seems like the type of person that will kind of want to put his roots down. But I don't know, man. If the rumors about Urban are true and people don't want to play for Urban and Josh Allen knows he has the ability to kind of play somewhere else and maybe get more notoriety, like, I don't know the type of guy Josh Allen is. If it benefits us to get it done early to bring him back, then there's no question about it. We should do it. If offering him an extension that's not too outrageous, like Ngakoue his extension demands were outrageous. If they're not outrageous, then it does benefit us to do it early, year 4. Not even have to worry about picking it up. But you do see players' 5th-year options get picked up all the time, and then they re-sign with their team. So it's not totally crazy just because we've had some bad luck with it in the past with Jalen Ramsey and players like that. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to work out bad for us this time with Allen. But your guess is as good as mine. I would say it would probably help to get the contract done early if his demands were not ludicrous. Long John Silver 85 says draft a kicker at number 1. Yeah, seriously. Kick a freaking field goal. How hard is that? Moon Illusions. Hasn't Stingley been unimpressive since 2019? Well, to be honest, I've watched 0 tape on him. I'm going off of kind of the projection mock drafts. The same ones that said, was it Malik Willis from Liberty? He was the first quarterback. And I watched him play, and he was very unimpressive. It's weird. Like, his stats are always good at the end of the game, but like he never does anything like that really blows your mind. I don't know. I like evaluating quarterbacks, but I need to watch some of Stingley because I don't know. I assumed he would be the first one off the board, but maybe he won't be. Ant says, I think Urban is the same in the locker room as he is in the press conferences, but I think everyone eventually smells the BS. Okay, and look. Again, I was talking about it earlier. Like, how much of the BS are you willing to put up with if you're exchanging wins, right? Maybe the BS doesn't work on the NFL level. Maybe that's what we're learning. I mean, it doesn't work out for some coaches, but you're right. I mean, it stinks. It's starting to stink. Moon Illusion says, I can't believe that we're already doing draft talk. That's the Jags for you. We're 0-5. I mean, what realistically do you think that we rattle off 5 wins? I mean, that's still going to land you in the top 5 or 6 picking, right? The team's not good. We have a good quarterback and we have a good running back, but the team is not good. And that's okay to say. I'm not belittling them. It's just there's not a lot of talent on the team. Gerald McKinnon says, looking at the game next week, I think the Jags can win. They are still professionals, and they want to perform well for job security, if nothing else. Yeah, I think back to, like, last year. I mean, they were all professionals, too, and they all wanted job security, but they were just so bad they couldn't beat anybody. I think this team's a little bit better than last year's team. But when it comes down to are they more talented than the rest of the league, the Dolphins, they may be. I like the Dolphins' talent. I like the Dolphins' coach. Tua is going to be the complete wild card here. He's going to be the complete wild card. If he comes out and balls out, we're in trouble. I like Gaskin as a player. I think the Jags could manage him. You know, he'll get his yards. Parker was limited in practice. I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of injuries. Might get to see a little bit of Waddle maybe. Grace Lambert with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate it. No comment, just $1.99. Very nice, very professional of you. DJM says, Jason San. DJM. Always glad when you're here in the chat, DJ. Robert Adsert says, Chazon's stats against the Titans almost match the stats of all of 2020. So there's two ways to look at that, right? He either had the luckiest game of his life, he was in the right place at the right time, or he's trending up, right? The algebraic function is around season 2, week 5. He starts producing up, right? For all you algebra people, right? So maybe that's what we're looking at. Maybe that's the curve that the graph is starting to trend toward. That's what I choose to believe. That hit he had on like the goal line, I mean, he laid the wood. I was like, oh, Chazon. Well, welcome to the team, Kalavon Chazon. But yeah, you're right. Maybe that's what he needs. Smoot had a good game, right? The D line is definitely outplaying their talent, which is good. I'm glad somebody is, but I don't know if it's enough to impact games. Jeff Singer. Just get some wins. We'll build confidence. Our division is trash, so we will still have like 4 divisional games to win. That is true. The division is trash. The Colts aren't that impressive. Titans barely beat us. The Texans are bad. But, I mean, I think we have a chance of like coming back against some of these teams and winning some of these games. So you're right. I think we're okay. If we kind of keep building. I know it's what all the players and all the coaches are saying, and people are tired of hearing it. Keep building. We're getting better. One's coming. We want to win so damn bad, right? They're saying all the right things. It just sucks. DJM, are you officially on Team Tank? DJ, do you see Team Tanks? Do you see me wearing a tank top? Okay, until I'm wearing a tank top, I am not on Team Tank, okay? This is a t-shirt, not a tank top. You know how we do it around here. Robert Adsert, Chazon is developing for all of those bust critics. Bro, there's critics out there on everybody, bro. I mean, you have one bad game, and there's going to be critics out there that say that you're bad. You're right, though. I would like to see Chazon prove some of these people wrong. Athletic freak. We talked about how he was going to take some time to develop. He was a project player. He's not a guy that's going to come in and just blow it up his first year. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is him developing. DJM, rock on, says rock on. Moon Illusions, got to watch out for Waddle with Tua back. Yeah, you know they have that Alabama connection, right? Lefty to Waddle. Yeah, Waddle blowing the lid off this defense scares the crap out of me. I don't want Andrew Wingard having to tackle Jalen Waddle 5 yards into his route because he's getting burnt. I don't want to see that more than a couple times. I really don't. Gerald McKinnon, we need a fluke win. One where we should have lost, but somehow pull it off. We deserve it, LOL. We deserve a lot of things around here. Gerald, we deserve a lot. And it could happen. Look, you say any given Sunday, dude, one of these days the calls will go our way. One of these days we'll hit a field goal and they'll miss their field goals. One of these days it'll all come together. I have faith. DJM, I just got Waddle on fantasy, so... Bro, that's messed up, DJ. He says he just got Waddle on fantasy, so he hopes Clay Brooks is covering him. Come on, man. That man's got a family out there, bro. Moon Illusion says there's one in the background. One in the background. I don't know what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I probably missed it. Okay. Yeah. Who's the other bad corner that we have? Trey Herndon? Is he playing? Clay Brooks, Campbell, I don't know. Lenny got a touchdown. Woo! LOL. Lenny's still as blind as Ray Charles. Jeez. Let's check the score in on that. 21-7. All right. If the Bucks win by 7 points or more, your boy's going to be really happy. And if the Dodgers also win and the Bucks win by 7 or more, then I'm real happy, if you know what I mean. That's what we call that parlay pick'em, boys. All right. Alex Ellis says Trevor is improving each week. Wasn't that the goal this season? Our record at the end of this season doesn't truly matter. Long term should be the focus. First staff across the board and quarterback patience. Yeah, Alex, I mean, that's it, bro. I mean, if I could sum up how I feel about this season into one post, I think you would have hit the nail on the head there. I made it after the 51 pass week 1 and people were mad. I was fine with it because this year's all about the year of Trevor, right? Develop Trevor, get him going, and then bring in the weapons next year. There's no point in spending a bunch of money and eating up guys' contract years on a season where Trevor's going to develop. Now, I don't want to get Trevor killed. I understand that you want to keep him alive and his morale up, and we don't want to ruin him like Blaine Gabbert. I get all that. But at the same time, like, I don't want to waste a year of Michael Thomas's contract on a team that's crappy like this team, right? I don't want to bring in a tight end and waste a year of his contract with a defense that can't stop anybody, right? I think they have a plan. I think they're developing Trevor. I think they're moving in that direction. I mean, every game Trevor does get better. I mean, I leave every game pretty excited, not because that we win in typical fan way, but this is like, oh, this dude's a generational quarterback. I mean, Dan Orlovsky just posted something on Twitter where he just absolutely was raving about Josh Allen. I think he put one of the throws on there that I posted on the last video, that corner route, talking about it was just like an amazing throw. You don't see rookies making that throw, I think was his point. Everyone else in the league sees it. You can just notice by the post-game comments from opposing players and coaches that they know Trevor's going to be the real deal. Just be patient. Be patient. Come back. Look, this time next year, right? This time next year, y'all need to make sure you are members of the channel before this time next year so that you can flash your badge and say, look, we were here when it was tough. Look, we were here last year. If you were here last year with us, there's no one can debate or call into question your fanhood if you sat there and rooted for the Jets to beat the Rams as hard as you did for the Jags to win last year. Moon Illusion says, it's funny to me that a guy we drafted just to maybe return kicks is our starting corner right now. Yikes. Yeah, and not to mention like the musical chairs, revolving door, whatever analogy you want to use that our defensive back room has been. Like, good Lord, if we pulled up a list of players that started for us over the last 2 years, I mean, it would be pathetic. Pathetic. DJM, which former Jaguar is prospering more, Jalen, Calais, Leonard, or Robinson? So Jalen and Calais were both really good when they were here. So they're just continuing to prosper. I wouldn't say they've like prospered after they left. Like they're just continuing to prosper with different logos on their helmet. Leonard, I think Allen Robinson too, but even Allen Robinson was good here. I think it's Leonard, bro. It's got to be Leonard. I mean, Leonard had that one good season with us. After that, his rookie year, after that, I mean, it was just a pit of a business. Dude, Jags fans were so harsh on Leonard Fournette, dude. Bust, bum, jokes around too much in the locker room. Dude, everything, bro, about how never take a running back that high. He sucks. All that, one cut Lenny, no vision Lenny, run to the back of his offensive lineman Lenny. Like, I heard it all about Leonard Fournette. And then, lo and behold, he goes to a team with a structured offense with systems in place designed to create running gaps and running lanes, and with a complementary running back who can take the pressure off of him, and a quarterback who can make throws, and now we're back to playoff Lenny. So I think Leonard Fournette, only because Jalen, Calais, and Allen Robinson, I think we're all pretty good here in Jacksonville. But Robinson, A-Rob's kind of went off too. He hasn't really had a quarterback either, to be fair. Robert Atzard, I would like to see Cisco in the slot and put Trey at corner. Yeah, I mean, I think defensive back nowadays in the NFL is a crapshoot anyways. I mean, we drafted C.J. Henderson really high, and people are like, oh, what a terrible pick. I mean, Jeff Okudah went even earlier with the Lions, and he's even worse than C.J. Henderson. So you just never know with defensive backs. You just never know. Guys, I watched guys in college that were not that good, and they're like tearing it up in the NFL. Like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was not that good at Florida. Like, he was okay. He flashed every now and then. He wasn't a starting safety in the NFL. He was not that good, right? Like, you see it happen all the time with people with corners. They just randomly will just, like, pop off in the NFL. It's weird. Mohand says, yes, I want to see Cisco. I think he has a high ceiling. Yeah, I do too. It's weird that he hasn't gotten on the field as much as he has. Robert Atwood says, Clay Brooks isn't ready and Wingard is scared to tackle big men. Well, to be fair, I would be scared to tackle Derrick Henry too. I know I'm not getting paid millions of dollars to tackle Derrick Henry. It might be a different story if I'm feeding my family on that ability, but it's a big man coming through the hole, bro. DJ M says, geez, we're a sad football friend. Just for now, DJ. Give us some time. Just look, we're here. This is a support group, right? We're sitting in a circle. We got our name badges on. We're talking about how the Jaguars have hurt us and how we're looking to rebuild that relationship. It's called group therapy, DJ M. It's why we're here. Robert Adjard said, F no, Jacksonville Jags are nothing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Jesus is King. What's up, Jesus King? How's it going? Hope you're having a good evening tonight. He says, how come none of our draft picks are playing? Good question. He says Trevor and Campbell are playing, but I don't know. It's like Walker Little, hello. Andre Sisco, hello. Luke Farrell's playing. Don't chaff my boy Luke Farrell out like that. Jalen Camp got cut. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. German Jags. No. Ben Hone. What up, Ben? Ben says, for real, talking to Jesus King about the draft picks, we need to stop redshirting our high draft picks. Don't use a college term, bro. You know, just because Urban's the coach. Gerald McKinnon, at this point, what's important is Trevor staying healthy. Okay. He keeps getting better and do a smart analysis of what players are keepers. Yeah, I think you're right. Gerald, your comments have been on point today. I think I've agreed with everything that you've said so far, Gerald. Yeah, it's all about Trevor staying healthy. Are we risking that? I'm a tad concerned. All right, now that some of the interior guys are getting hurt, I'm a tad concerned. In London, things are weird. You don't have the same preparation. You don't have the same routines. I'm a little worried about this London game. I hope this is the game we kind of lean on the running game. I think you have to, right? With the time difference, the players, it's weird playing at that time for players. You don't have the same like systems in place for pregame. I think that you have to lean on the running game this week. I think James Robinson has to get, and I've not been one that's been hard. I know James Robinson's good, but I want Trevor to get throws. But this is the week, I think, just for Trevor's sake, that you do run the ball a lot. With DJ Chark out, trying to solidify that new number one, whether it be Visca or Jones. I mean, Trevor's had success throwing to both those guys. I think the emergence of Dan Arnold minus that one fumble, he led the team in reception yards last week. So I think he can be a guy that maybe gets more familiar with his team, plays better. Josh L. says, more touches for Visca, please. Yeah, I mean, that one, I don't know if he just had all that energy bottled up from not having any receptions in the game, but that run on that short pass was just remarkable at the end of the game. Mohan says, Jay Tufele had his debut, though. Okay. I like Jay Tufele. I really do. James Swan. The only person I have a big problem with at the moment is Darrell Bevell and his play calling. Yeah, James, I think you're not alone there. I kind of said earlier, I'm okay with Bevell until he gets inside the 10-yard line. Once he gets inside the 10-yard line, it's like the dude forgets how to call football plays. You talk about defenses talk about bending but not breaking, right, and stiffening up near the end zone. It's like he has the inability to score in the red zone. I don't know why. It's pathetic and sad. But his 2-minute offense seems to work. Robert Atcher says, Jay Tufele will ball this year, speed and power. Yeah, I think you're right. Moon Illusions, sign an offensive lineman or two and draft all defense. So what about receiver? Are you fine at receiver, Moon? Chark, we were depending on Chark to kind of carry a lot of this load, and he's probably, I don't know what his future is in Jacksonville. It doesn't look great. Steve Boston, what up, Steve? He says, pound the rock on Sunday. I'm with you there, Steve. I'm with you. I think if they do, there's a chance they can win this game because I think we can be more physical at the point of attack with our line of scrimmage and James Robinson just being the talented runner that he is. Trevor's ability to run the play action effectively and bootleg out and run the ball as well, I think could definitely help us. Jacob, what's up, Jake? He says, this is the Jaguars' best chance to win a game until the Jaguars play Atlanta. Ooh, that's a good point there. They got a handful of winnable games on the schedule, but that's it. And this is one of them. You're right. Alex Ellis, if talent is the issue and we keep missing picks, why are people calling for a new head coach in OC but not a GM? That's a good question. One thing that I'm not too sure of is who is the actual GM? Like, I know Trent Baalke is by position title, but like, who's actually making the decisions? Like, I kind of feel like it's Urban Meyer, right? I kind of feel like Urban's making the picks. I mean, he's probably consulting with Baalke, obviously. But I think when it comes down to who we picking, the last final say is Urban Meyer. I don't think it's Baalke. Baalke probably handles the day-to-day transactions of this guy's hurt, this guy's practice squad, this guy's signed, this guy's cut, this guy's practice squad. All that crap I think Baalke's doing. But when it comes down to like who we drafting and who are we spending a bunch of money on in free agency, I think that's all Urban. So I think Urban is the GM. I'm not calling for a new head coach. I understand that the people are. I mean, there's a loud voice out there that is. Not me, though. Not me. Robert Adford says Robinson gets 150 touches. 150 yards and 22 touches. That would be great for my fantasy team. That's for sure. DJM, if we can't save the season, what do we do this upcoming offseason, and how do we turn this franchise around? Well, I think, again, like I said, I think this year was about Trevor developing, and I think they didn't want to waste a bunch of contract years on good players with Trevor developing. Wait till he's kind of in his second year. The game is, like, really slow for him. Can you imagine how good he's going to be in his second year? He's already flashing glimpses of, like, top-tier quarterback in the NFL. The throws he's making, the reads he's making, his pocket awareness, throws on the run. Like, he's showing flashes of like a top-tier quarterback. And can you imagine how good he's going to be in year 2? And then year 2, all of a sudden you bring in all these guys and you draft all these guys and you give them all this protection up front. And now you got something. And now you're looking at a team that went from seemingly irrelevant to making a push toward the playoffs. Maybe it's pie in the, maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe it's pie in the sky. I don't know. Maybe. I've been accused of worse. Ben Hone says it would be the most Jaguar thing ever to lose to the Dolphins but end up beating the Bills. Bro, the NFL is weird, dude. You never know what's going to happen. Grace Lambert with the red flag emojis. I can't believe that even became popular. It's so sad. Mohan says Jags are going to win 6 games. Moon Illusion says Kyle Pitts will obliterate this defense. Dude, Kyle Pitts is disgusting. Kyle Pitts is an absolute disgusting player. That is for sure. Steve Boston says Miami is garbage against the run. London will be known as Mrs. Robinson's neighborhood, Mr. Robinson's neighborhood on Sunday. Okay, I thought you were going Beatles reference Mrs. Robinson, and you actually went Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. Yeah, I think so too, hopefully. But I would think that the Dolphins are going to do what every team has done against the Jaguars this year and load the box up and make Trevor throw. Every team has done that. We've still run the ball against those 8 and 9-man fronts, which is impressive. But I think they're going to force Trevor to throw. And that's why you see Trevor throwing those verticals on the sidelines and those fade routes. It's because that's what's open. You come in and cover 1, you got man on the outside. You got to have a receiver that can come. Look, Trevor is used to, in college, having receivers that can win one-on-ones on the sidelines. Whether it was Justin Ross, Travis Etienne, whoever it was. Like, he was used to that. So the fact that he doesn't have receivers that can go up and win a 50-50 ball in a league that's designed to advocate for the receivers, it just goes to show the lack of talent on this offense, not really anything else. I mean, at the receiver position. I don't know. DJM, if we go 0-17, is there a chance that we relocate to London? No, there's not. I don't think one team moves to London. I think that logistically that'd be a nightmare for the NFL. I think if expansion ever did happen to Europe, it would be like 4 teams go over there, and you have like, you know, a team in like 2 teams in England. A team in somewhere else. You know, I don't know, France, Italy, somewhere in Europe. So where they can have their own like European division to where they can play each other each 2 times. And then teams can come over, stay for 2 weeks, play 2 teams, like that sort of thing. But it doesn't make sense logistically to have a team over there. Jacob says the Jaguars should run the ball to set up the pass. And I think that's what they try to do. It's just hard. It's hard when teams are stacking the box. Josh L., what wide receivers in next year's draft do you like? Oh, man, that's a good question. Let me put a pin in that and get back to you because I don't know them all off the top of my head. I haven't done, look, I'm not that deep into Tankathon yet. Not yet, but I will. I will. Man, I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. You got the guy from Oklahoma people are big on. I think USC has a guy people are big on. Who's the small school guy? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know anything. Ben Hone says, I don't care if it's only year 2. Give J-Rob a new contract. Let's not take any risks losing him. I need to take a sip of my beverage before I answered that. At the beginning of the year, I would have disagreed with you staunchly. I would have been like, I don't know if James Robinson's that good. I think he was just a product of this bad team and us being in situations where we had to pass and we ran. I would have argued that. I would have said rookies are a fluke. I would have said that rookies go off for 1 year all the time and that we see second-year slumps all the time in running backs. I would say the trend of the NFL is going toward not paying running backs contract extensions. But after what I've seen through the first 5 weeks with James Robinson, I think I agree with you. The guy has solidified himself as clearly one of the better running backs in the league. And he's doing it on a team with no talent, no defense, and an injured offensive line. I think you're right. I think we got to extend him. I don't think it'll be that expensive. I mean, I don't think there's not going to be a bunch of people like banging down your door to get him. Relatively speaking, I mean, I still think there'll be some. I mean, obviously, he's a good running back. He's not going to be like a Kamara or a McCaffrey or a guy like that. But, yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you on that now. Especially if you can get a cheap guy behind him like Carlos Hyde, spells him out. Mohan says Tyler Shatley is questionable. Who's playing center if he's out? LOL. Casey McDermott, has he moved inside to center? I know he was like a guard. I don't know. Ben Barch, did he play some center last year? You're right. I don't know, man. We're getting kind of thin on the offensive line. Gerald McKinnon, Jason, that's what I like about Trevor. He stands tall in the pocket and doesn't panic. He shows signs of having those Brady subtle moves in the pocket. Spot on as always, Gerald. Washington State Jags fan, what up? He says, hey, buddy, you going to make the Seattle game? I'm trying to work it out here. It's looking good. But I do have to check with one thing at work. We'll see. I would love to, more than anything, go. That's going to be a crazy weekend, man. Florida, Georgia's here that weekend. I don't know. I should know by tomorrow. I appreciate the hookup, by the way, Washington State Jags fan. Jersey Jaguar, this is the week the streak dies. I like that, Jersey. DJM, any chance we can trade Chark for Higgins? No. I don't think Chark's going anywhere. He has no ankle. How long do fractured ankles take to heal? I mean, the reports I'm seeing, like 4 or 5 weeks. What? Fractured ankle? I don't know. Mohan says, do you like Tyson Campbell or no? I like him. Yeah, I like him. Look, the fact that he doesn't make plays on the ball in the air is kind of like the last thing I'm worried about, right? If he can stay on the receiver's hip, that's more important to me. So, yeah, use that speed. You know, he can develop ball skills. He can get taught ball skills. Like, as he plays in this league and he adjusts to the speed of the NFL and the game, he'll be able to make plays on the ball in the air. But the biggest thing to me is, like, can he stay on the receiver's hip, which he's shown me he can do. So that's impressive to me. DJM, any chance? Oh, yeah, I already read that one. Brett James, Jags are going to win 31-26. I'm calling it now. All right, Brett, well, if that happens, we'll give you credit for it. We still need to get together and do some a collab show. Haven't forgotten. I say this every show, like I'm a broken record. It sucks. This is my busy season at work during the Jags season. I slow down in the off season. So I work in sports. So I do a bunch of stuff in the off season. I can't even put a schedule down of when I'm doing live shows because I don't even know when I'm going to do them because of my work schedule. So we'll get together, Brett. I like your stuff. I appreciate it. Robert Adzert, Chris Olave, wide receiver from Ohio, is sick. Okay, I'll put a pin in that and I'll take a look at him. Steve Boston, tie him up for 4 years at least. Yeah, a young guy like that. Yeah, heck yeah, man. Illinois State, let's go. Jesus is king. I like Tyson Campbell. He's a physical corner. He's a rookie corner, so I'm going to give him a pass for this season. It is kind of typical to see corners have an adjustment curve from the college to the NFL. It's very rare that a corner steps in as like beast mode right away. It usually takes some time. That's why you don't see them go a ton in the top like 5. I mean, they do, but like you don't see it a ton. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Campbell. I really am. I have no issue with Campbell. Look, like I said, I'm fine with him getting beat, not being able to locate the ball in the air, but being in good position. I'm okay with that for now. DJM says, not now, later, like in the offseason. Okay, maybe. I don't know if he'll have any trade value. I hope he will. Dude, I would love nothing more than for DJ Chark to come back and be successful with the Jaguars. I said this last episode. I am actually hopeful as a Jags fan that this injury might increase his likelihood of signing with us next year. I don't think he'll demand the type of money on the market that he would have pre-injury. And I think the Jags might give him that hometown discount, keep him around, let him heal up. He'll come back. He could play for he can fight for that wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 spot next year. And we might be able to get him on a bargain. I don't know. Checking the scores here. 21-7 at halftime. Buccaneers over the Eagles. Dodgers and Giants tied 0-0, bottom of the third. All right. Things are shaping up okay for me, gambling-wise. Robert Atwood says Dan Arnold is already tight end 1. Mohan says, yeah, because Dan Arnold is the GOAT. I like Dan Arnold. I do. But like I said, besides the fumble, I like him. Steve Boston says, I want to see Tyron Johnson. That's been weird not seeing him play. Now, when we first signed him, I was like, well, he got cut, guys. You realize he got cut from a team, right? The Chargers cut him. Speaking of Chargers, dude, how angry are you if you're a Dolphins fan and you drafted Tua over Justin Herbert? Now, see, we're down bad, but we're not down like that. We're not down bad like that. So I'll take it. Like, that would have sucked. That's like taking, I don't know, Taven Bryan over Lamar Jackson, right? That's crazy. DJM, have fun at the bar on Sunday. Wish I could go. Wish there were more Jags fans in Texas. Oh, DJ, we are going to have fun, and I'm glad that you brought that up because if you are in Jacksonville, you got to head out to Jax Beach. We're going to Philly's Finest in Jax Beach for the Jags game. 9:30 a.m. here in the East Coast. I'm friends with the owner, and he's going to open it up just for us. So it's going to be all Jags fans, all there. If you say that you came because of this channel, then they'll give you a free drink. I already talked to the owner. He said, yeah, bring anyone you want. Tell him I'll give him a free drink even. So do that. They'll hook you up with a free drink, and you can watch it with us 9:30 a.m. Like, what could go wrong? Like, we're starting at 9:30 a.m. at a bar. Like, what could go wrong, right? That's probably where the night will not end. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Steve Boston says, get Justin Ross next year for Trevor. Yeah, let's just get all of Clemson. Let's just get Dabo Swinney. You know what? Screw Urban. Fire him. Get Dabo in here. We'll put a freaking rock in a TIAA bank. We'll do the walk of fame down and touch the rock, and we'll change, we'll change our colors to orange and purple. We'll just change it over from one big cat to the other. We'll just change into the Jacksonville Tigers. As joking as I am, if that leads to Trevor being successful, I would listen to doing it. DJM, is UCF going? I don't think so, but I haven't talked to him. He lives in Orlando, so it's hard for him to, not hard, but I mean, for him to get up here for a 9:30 game, he would have to leave at like 5 in the morning. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Robert Atchert, Tyron Johnson has been playing and doing nothing, yet he needs to work on his craft. Yeah, I mean, again, I just think he's a guy that just isn't as good as we think. I mean, he can take the top off of defenses, but that only really helps you if you have other players around that aren't like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Marvin Jones seems to be doing a decent job of spreading the field, and he's a lot more reliable than Tyron Johnson. So I think that's why you're seeing Marvin Jones do it. DJM, Want to see a lot. Want to see a live with both of you drunk because of a Jags win. uh, busy season. You don't see me like that as often. And when I'm my non-busy season at work, a lot of the live shows you're getting me in rare form, if you know what I mean. But look, hey, I appreciate you guys being here. I kind of wanted to just do a short little preview show tonight, just for this weekend. I'm gonna try to jump on here again later this week before the Jags game, just to kind of say what up and chat with Jags fans. Make sure you follow my Instagram, Jaguars United _. I'm gonna do I do stories. I don't post pictures, but the stories are fun. They go away after a day. You know, you get away with a little bit more. Make sure you follow that. Make sure you follow Twitter, Jaguars _United. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of the show. We love you guys in here. Super excited about this week. I think it could be a win. Ben Hone says he's excited to root for Gus Bradley as the head coach of the Raiders. Okay. Well, I like Gus Bradley. He's a good guy. Super nice guy. I met him a bunch of times. Yeah, but hey, thank you guys for being here. It's been awesome, man. I love you guys. This is my favorite thing to do. Almost didn't do one tonight. Glad I did. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Robert Adsert. Hit the thumbs up. If you know a Jag fan, tell them about the show and tell them that there's a good Jag show out there that's unbiased and all about the fans, and that's our goal. That's our mission statement, and that's what we will continue to do. Hopefully, I will see you on here before Sunday, but if not, I will see you at Philly's Finest, and we will have a great time. And the Jags, next time you see me, maybe the Jags will have a win, right? All righty. Hey, appreciate you guys being here. As always, go Jags.